PSCL Baseball here on the PSCL Baseball Broadcasting Network. Cole Pavelio and Adam Oppenheim. Bombers and Coyotes here on Game 2 of our doubleheader this morning on a fine Saturday afternoon. Adam, we saw the Blue Sox and the Bootleggers go at it for Game 1, and the Blue Sox made a hearty comeback but came up just short. Now we've got the Bombers and the Coyotes. The Coyotes 1-1, Bombers 0-3. Dane Richards starting on the mound for the Coyotes. We talked about that game we just saw, Adam. It was a really good game between the Blue Sox and the Bootleggers.
Yeah, it was a terrific game, a game that was really controlled by the Bootleggers from the start. Blue Sox made a comeback, just fell up short. We should have another good one here today. Bombers going to get their first win of the season. This would be a massive win against the Coyotes team that's really talented.
Every team very talented. We heard Jackson Alley on the turf field get 3 hits, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, and we'll get the starting lineups right now for the Bombers. It's Reese Vosser, Bobby Irving, Joe Barros, that's 1, 2, and 3, Charlie Wooden, Caden Egg-Braden, Joe Licari, Daniel Jenkins, Nathan Wilson, Asher Friedman, and Harry Kollick. 1 through 10 as we have the DH and the extra hitter in the PSCL, so everyone gets their turn at bat. The Bombers getting ready to dig in for their first time against Dane Richards. The battery mate for Richards, Rowetter. The fielding arrangement behind Richards, it's Sly, Schultz, Romero, and Bosilkowski as the infield. The outfield left to right, Areola, Varner, and Torado. And the dimensions here in Palm Springs Stadium, 350 to the corners and 400 dead center. Not too much wind today. Dane Richards ready to face Reese Vosser to start off the game. First pitch at 11:57 is called strike to Vosser, the shortstop for the Bombers. Richards from Macomb Community College. Chopper right side off the bat of Vosser. Backhanding it is Bosilkowski. And he'll step on the bag unassisted for out number 1. And it looks like they might be calling catcher's interference here, as Vosser is awarded first base. I don't know if I saw anything, but Vosser on first, even though would have been a ground out, so I must assume it's a catcher's interference on Rowetter, but nonetheless, Richards delivers this one to Irving. Bobby Irving watches the first one 1-0, no outs. After the presumed call, catcher's interference is Vosser's on first. 1-0 is inside, goes to 2-0 to Irving.
Now that does rule an error on the catcher, correct, Cole?
I do believe so. We'll have to check our stat manual later on to see what it says, but nonetheless, Vosser on first, pickoff attempt by Richards, and safely in there is Vosser. Good pickoff attempt there by Dane Richards, almost caught Vosser.
Yeah, Vassler was heading towards second base, took one extra step, and then realized he had to get back to first just in time.
Wind blowing in just a little bit here at just about noon, and that one's looped left field, giving it a chase is Areola, and Areola watches it drop in front of him, so there's a hit for Irving. Runners at first and second now for the Bombers quickly. First hit of the afternoon. Bobby Irving is tabbed with that hit, and now we're checking with the home plate umpire. Bombers coach, not too sure what this could be. They possibly checking on possible catcher's interference a second time, or maybe Richards isn't coming set for the liking of the Bombers coach. Play called dead, and
Courtesy runner, looks like.
Looks like a courtesy runner it is. Just a little confusion there, though, is looked like they were debating on what the call was going to be. What a courtesy runner for the catcher, Bobby Irving. The 0-0 to Joe Barros has called a strike on the outer black. Right fielder Joe Barros facing Dane Richards. Barros from Hartnell College watches that one inside, 1-1. As it's Harry Collick, the courtesy runner for Irving. The 1-1 Hart hit up the middle, and that one is a flare shot. That drops in center field, and so the bases are loaded, no out for the Bombers as they're trying to bomb into this one with a first run about to come across if it's another hit for the Bombers. Charlie Wooten now up to bat. Wooten from Oklahoma Wesleyan, first baseman and outfielder, getting the start at first base today for the Bombers. First pitch swing, pop-up to the left side, but drifts foul. 0-1 to the first baseman. Runners all over the place. Vosser on third, Collick on second, and Barros on first. The 0-1 called a strike on the outer edge. 0-2 to Wooten. Dane Richards looking for his first out. The 0-2 from Richards is well outside. Goes to 1-2. Charlie Wooten from Beaumont, Texas, just outside of Houston. On the east side, right next to the border of Louisiana, one of the closest cities to that Louisiana border. Chopper, left side, field on the backhand by Schultz. And now a pickle as a run scores. The pickle continues there for Kolek, and he's continuing to allow the pickle to continue. And there is a triple play, and one run scores.
Oh, my goodness. That has got to be one of the wildest plays I've ever seen. They went to second for one on a first double play, and then caught the runner Irving in a rundown. A good old, what was that, 6-4-3-4 triple play?
I think that's about as close as we're going to get it, and looks like they're checking on something here, as maybe that was just 2 outs. The umps are definitely discussing this one to see if that was a triple play indeed, and it's only going to be a double play as the runner on first is called safe. So 2 outs, and the run scores. And no RBI for Wooten. He is on first after the fielder's choice is what it would be scored as.
I think it does come with the RBI. Don't you think?
As it recorded 2 outs.
Oh, technically, yeah. Wait, but is that part of the same play? Like, because he made it to first safely. We're going to have to double-check that as well. It's a hard game to score, Cole.
It's already half an inning down and 2 outs at least. But either a hit or a fielder's choice for Wooten. He might have an RBI, but nonetheless, the Bombers lead at 1-0 with 2 outs. And it's Caden Egbraden up to bat. Egbraden from Desert Christian Academy talked to his coach just the other day. A few other teammates in the PSCL as well. Egbraden played football at DCA, was a linebacker there from just down the road in Cathedral City. So we'll go ahead and give Wooten the hit and the RBI, though. And Wooten now has been picked off from first base, so that is the 3rd out in the middle of Egbraden's at bat. And that will do it for this half inning. The Bombers lead it 1-0. We go to the bottom of the first here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you. Learn more at eisenhowerhealth.org/awards.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Cole McMahon getting the start on the mound for the Bombers here in the second game of the day. Facing off against the Coyotes. The lineup for the Coyotes: Jay Schultz, Bruce Sly, Nicholas Bozolkowski, Sebastian Jamis, Cadence Varner, Dominic Mendoza, Carson Romero, Christian Areola, Lucas Tirado, and Mason Rowetter. Facing off against Cole McMahon from Simpson University. As the first baseman, Wooten was getting checked on by one of the trainers early on, and so we're going to have a new first baseman entering the game, at least defensively. Here to start the bottom of the first is Wooten slid into first, got picked off to end the top of the first, and we'll have a defensive replacement as it's Wooten who's been taken out. Get checked on. We'll have that new player as it's Joe Thornton at first for the time being. The first pitch to Schulte is called a ball, 1-0 to the shortstop. The battery mate for McMahon is Irving. 1-0. Hard hit left side. That will drop into shallow left field. That one drops in a hit for Schulte to start the afternoon for the Coyotes. It's quickly a hit for the Coyotes as they now got a runner on first, and now Wooten's back out there. I think he might have just been getting that hand taped as he's quickly back out there. The fielding arrangement behind McMahon, Friedman, Vosser, Wilson, and Thornton. The 0-0 to Bruce Slies outside, 1-0. The outfield behind McMahon, Jenkins, Lacari, and Barros. 1-0 count to Bruce Sly. Sly standing upright. Arms waving around. 1-0 goes to 2-0. Quickly to the third baseman, Sly. Wooten, though, back at first. After getting something taped back up, Schulte extending his lead from first, 2-0. McMahon delivers inside, and that one gets by the backstop of Irving, and Schultz will take second base on the pass ball. It's now a 2-0 count to Sly. Sly looking to put the Coyotes on the board. 2-0. That one's inside, and that is a walk as the count was actually 3-0. So it's a 4-pitch walk for Bruce Sly. That's runners at first and second now. Sly from Hibbing Community College also is a pitcher. Now we go to Nicholas Bozolkowski from Macomb Community College. Open stance in a slide crouch. The first one from McMahon is outside, goes to 1-0. 1-0 count. Coyotes 1-1 on the season. Bombers looking to get into the win column. The 1-0 chop to left side foul evens it up at 1-1. One count to Bozolkowski from McMahon. One stays outside, goes to 2-1. McMahon hasn't been able to find the strike zone quite yet. Bozolkowski from Shelby Township, Michigan. 2-1 to Bozolkowski, and that one's hit back up the middle. That one will drop in center field. Runners will advance 90 feet, and that's where they will stay. So a hit for Bozolkowski, and that loads the bases for the Coyotes. The bases are juiced now on 2 hits, 1 walk. Sebastian Jameis up to bat now. Another one from Macomb Community College. Yellow from McMahon is a slider that catches a zone. 0-1. Jameis from Trenton, Michigan. Went to Detroit Western International before graduating, going to Macomb Community College. Quickly 0-2 as that one's fouled back. Jameis is 6-foot freshman at 195. Bats and throws right-handed. 0-2. McMahon sets at the belt, works from the first base side of the rubber, and that one's a hit by pitch, and that will drive in a run for the Coyotes, and they strike first as the bases remain loaded after the hit by pitch RBI for Jameis. As it's a 1-1 game here in the bottom of the first. Cadence Varner now up to bat. Varner from Notre Dame College, the outfielder. Playing center field today, watches one outside from McMahon. Goes to 1-0. Count. Varner awaits. 1-0 inside, goes to 2-0. Is had to bend out of the way of that one. Now a mound visit being made by Irving, checking on McMahon as it's a 2-0 count. Bases still loaded, no outs. Varner from Marion, Ohio. To Pleasant High School there. 2-0 from McMahon. Hit back up to the right side. Waiting on it is Wilson. Goes the short way. Everyone is safe. 1 run will score, and that's 2 runs scoring on the bobbled play. Makes it a 3-1 game. As Sly and Bozolkowski scored. Jameis at second.
Yeah, it was going to be a tough play. Got a tough hop there.
Dominic Mendoza, the extra hitter for the Coyotes. Launches it from McMahon, a breaker that stays low, 1-0 count. To Mendoza from St. Mary's College of California. utility player. Being the extra hitter today for the Coyotes from Danville, California. As it goes to 2-0 outside. 3-0 ball game, 3-1 game actually. That's the first one was scored by the Bombers. The 2-0 stays outside, goes to 3-0. Jameis on second, Varner on first. Romero due up next with no outs. McMahon checks on Jameis. The 3-0's in there for a strike. McMahon being hit around just a little bit here. Giving up 2 hits already. 3-1. That one stays outside, and he gives up a walk. Bases back to being loaded. Jameis on third, Varner on second, and Mendoza now on first after the walk. And Carson Romero digs in. Romero playing second base for the Coyotes here today. That one gets by the backstop of Irving, and coming around to score is Jameis. Makes it 4-1. Coyotes lead it over the Bombers. Runners advanced 90 feet, so Varner on third, Mendoza on second now, and it's a 1-0 count to Romero. From Schreiner University in Texas. That one stays upstairs, goes to 2-0. Schreiner in Kerrville, Texas. Just about an hour away from where I'm from in Texas. 3-0 count. Also the home of the Tivy Antlers. 3-0 to Romero. That one stays upstairs, and that's another walk. Romero reloads the bases. This will draw a mound visit for McMahon. No one going in the Bombers bullpen here. We'll have a courtesy runner, it looks like, maybe come up as well. It's actually just some Coyotes players gathering all the gear that's been thrown over to the first base side to clean it up a little bit over there as the mound visit continues for the Bombers as they're down 4-1 after half an inning of play. Romero on first, Mendoza on second, Varner on third, and it's Christian Arriola up to bat from Ohlone College to face McMahon. Arriola from Palmdale, California, went to Highland High School. Stands at 6 foot, 175. Batted .304 last year. Drove in 18, has a chance to drive in a handful here with no outs. Watches the first one for a called strike on the breaking ball. 0-1 to Arriola. Playing left field for the Coyotes. Here in game 2 over Saturday doubleheader. That one's hit back up the middle, fielded on a hop. 6-4-3, and there's a double play, and the run comes in as Varner scores in the double play. So no RBI for Arriola. And Twin Killing for 2 outs. And McMahon's day is done. It looks like we'll roll it over to the second inning. It now becomes 5-1. Coyotes lead it after 1 here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network. We'll have the second inning right here.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Like a family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family-oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet, discovering our history, experiencing our scenic trails, getting that perfect souvenir. Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Top of the second now as the Bombers do back up. Caden Egg-Braden lead it off after he was the batter when Charlie Wooden got picked off. Watches one for a called strike on the outer black to Egg-Braden. Egg-Braden, Licari, and Jenkins due up here for the Bombers. The 0-1 pulled foul, evens it up at 1-1 to the DH for the Bombers, Egg-Braden. Egg-Braden from just down the road as mentioned, Cathedral City. 6'1", 220, 1-1 count. To the catcher, waggling the bat around, 1-1, stays upstairs, goes to 2-1. Facing Dane Richards. 2-1. Richards works from the first base side of the rubber, and it's now 3-1 after that one was upstairs. Richards with the teal glove, it looks like. Defense playing straight up. The 3-1 is called inside. So that must have been 2-1. It's now a full count is what they're saying. Down on the field, the full count from Richards, and there's a strikeout, but a foul back. Caught a piece of the home plate umpire, so he'll take a moment to gather himself after that one went off the hand. Stays at the full count, and Egg-Braden go talk with his coach, and the umps will take a minute to gather themselves after that one went off the forearm, then the inner forearm of home plate umpire. Count will remain at a full count when we reconvene. After that one just smarts a bit. Looks like showing the other ump right where it caught him. I guess you can see the seams. A 3-2 count. After essentially a timeout, Egg-Braden digs back in. Rowitter gets back into the crouch. Full count. Richards looking for a strikeout here. Coyotes lead 6-1, and that one's upstairs around the dome of Egg-Braden, and there's a walk for the DH. Joe Licari now up to bat. Licari from Corbin University. From Meriden, Idaho. First one to Licari's called strike, 0-1. Playing center field today. Played last year in the PSCL, so a returner. His second year. That one takes a nasty hop and goes off the glove of Sly. Just must have caught a bad piece of dirt. Runners at first and second now. And Sly is given the error after the nasty hop. No hits here in this inning, but runners on first and second now for the Bombers. Richards fires a breaking ball that stays outside 1-0 to Daniel Jenkins. Jenkins from Mount San Antonio College. Fly ball right side as that one's just behind the infield. Calling everyone off is the second baseman, Romero, for out number 1 on the pop-up just behind the infield for the first out. Nathan Wilson up to bat now. Christopher Newport University is where he hails from. Middle infielder. One out here. The top of the second. Wilson awaits from Richards, and that one's upstairs. 1-0 count. .511, 185. Digging into the right-handed batter's box. Straight up stance, hands high. Taps the bat on his shoulders. That one's looped left field. That will drop into the outfield, and runners will load the bases after the single. As Wilson, the second hit for the Bombers on the afternoon. After Richards gave up a walk, a runner reached on an error, and now a single after the last one being a pop out. Asher Friedman, who's uncommitted now, takes a big swing, and that's a back pick attempt. That one goes into the outfield. And going to score on the pickoff attempt is Egg Braden on the E2 as that one sailed to the outfield. Runners advance 90 feet. 1 run scores. Licari on third now. That one's chopped foul to stay alive. Now a 6-2 game after the run scored on the throw down by Rowetter. That one's inside here to Friedman. Goes to 2-1. Two-one count from Richards is chopped left side. Fielded on hop as that one takes a nasty hop as well. And another run scores for the Bombers as that's 2 runs across here in the second. And Friedman reaches. Licari scores, and Wilson goes to second as this will draw a mound visit for the Coyotes, and Dane Richards is infield taking a few nasty hops off of the infield that must be drying out a little bit. Will be Harry Colick due up next, who's the extra hitter today for the Bombers. Was also a courtesy runner last inning for Irving. Colick from Dakota College at Bottineau. From Salt Lake City, Utah. 8 at-bats for Dakota College. This past season, 5'8", 160. Ready to face Richards. Runners on first and second. Wilson on second, Friedman on first. Colick watches one for a strike from Richards. 0-1 count. 6-3 game here through an inning and a half with one out here in the top of the second. Big swing by Colick. It was 0-2. Vosser would be next, followed by Irving. The 0-2. Richards sets, checks Wilson, fires the 0-2 inside 1-2.
Colick was fooled on that pitch. I mean, he was backing out of the way, and that just missed the inside corner.
Looked like he was trying to limbo under a bar rather than be in the batter's box, as you mentioned, though. That one almost did catch a piece of him. 1-2, and that is a strikeout looking, they say, as that one catches the corner for his second out. And strikeout number 1 for Richards. This is now Reese Vosser, who reached first in what we believe was a catcher's interference to lead off the game. Watches one above the eyes. 1-0 to the shortstop. Facing Dane Richards for the second time already in just as many innings. The 1-0, big pop-up. That one's going all the way to the outfield, though. Calling everyone off is the left fielder, Areola, and he makes the play for the third out. Loses his hat in doing so. That's 2 runs on a hit, 2 errors, 2 left on for the Bombers. The Coyotes lead it 6-3 after an inning and a half here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cole McMahon set to go back out there for the Bombers, as the Bombers are down 6-3 after the Coyotes put up 6, then rolled over to end the first. And now it's Lucas Tirado, the right fielder, up to bat, facing Cole McMahon. Tirado from Miami-Dade College. Set to face McMahon. The first one from McMahon catches his own, 1-0. 0-1 make that, actually. Oh, 0-1 McMahon. Long pause, fires. That one's too low, 1-1. Evens the count. Tirado, outfielder and first baseman. Ready for the 1-1 as that one's a called strike, 1-2 to Tirado. 1-2. McMahon sets at the belt, leg kicks and fires, and that one's pulled outside. 2-2. To the right fielder. Two all count. To Torado. Watches that one below the knees. Draws it to a full count. Full count to the man from Miami. Just catches a piece of it and chops it foul. Keeps it at a full count. 6'1", 160. Went to Florida National before going to Miami-Dade College. The full count to Torado, and that one's kept alive as he pulled that one foul as well. We'll do the full count again as McMahon having to work against Torado, who's listed as an outfielder and first baseman, but also has pitched in his time before. The full count again. Torado, big swing. And McMahon sets him down with the strikeout, his first of the afternoon. Now going to Mason Rowetter, the backstop. Rowetter from Orcutt Academy. Santa Maria, California, chops one left side, field on a few hops by Sly. Make that actually Friedman. He gets it over to first in time for the second out. 5-3 on the put out for 2 outs. No hits here for the Coyotes. Jay Schultz set to bat now. Hit last inning and came around to score for the first run for the Coyotes, and that one is called a strike inside and under the hands. 0-1 count to the shortstop from Whittier College. Watches that one inside. Goes to 1-1. Heard Whittier has a great water polo team.
I was just about to mention that, Cole. That's
one of our very own Margarita Moreno, water polo player there for the Poets. I don't know about you, Adam, but I don't know if I've heard any Poets being a mascot, but that is what the Whittier College school is it's now 2-2 is the Poet. Schultze watches one.
intimidation by writing. That's one I've never heard before.
2-2 count to Schultze.
Maybe if you're writing a story.
There's some big, great epic poems. That was an epic take there by Schultze. Watches it low, full count.
It's a good take.
It was an epic take, they would even say. Full count, 2 outs. McMahon sets, fires, and that one's hit back up the middle. Trying to make the play there is Vosser, but it gets by him. And a hit there for Schultze as he reaches on the single. Bruce Sly now up to bat. Sly from Hibbing Community College. Can also pitch. Playing third base, though, for the Coyotes here today. Big swing comes up empty. 0-1 count. Was trying to tack on an extra run or two there for the Coyotes. Taking off for second base here is Schultze, and he is safe at second base after the pickoff attempt and throw down allowed him to get to second base.
Good stolen base. That was going to be a tough play to get him at second base. That needed to be a super quick transfer. Couldn't make it happen.
Schultze had 2 stolen bases for the Poets over 2 years. Originally from Huntington Beach, California, so right there on the coast. The first pitch to Sly is a strike, as it's now 0-2 actually, to the third baseman. Sly awaits the 0-2 from McMahon. McMahon fires, and there's a strikeout for McMahon for the third out here in the second inning. As it's no runs, one hit, one left on. The Coyotes lead it 6-3 after 2. We head to the third here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
We're through 2 full innings as the Bombers back up. Bobby Irving leading it off for the Bombers here in the third as they are down 6-3. Irving in his first plate appearance reached with a single, eventually got to second, was his trip around the base pass ended there. From Shawnee Community College, as that one's pulled outside, 1-0 to the backstop. From Hopkinsville, Kentucky, 5'5", watches that one upstairs above the eyes. 2-0 to the catcher from Kentucky. 2-0. Richards sets and fires, and that one's takes a hop in front of the plate. 3-0 to Bobby Irving. Joe Barros and Charlie Wooden will follow. Three all counting in there for a strike, 3-1. As the Bombers looking to get their first victory in PSCL play. The Coyotes 1-1 on their season. Bombers 0-3. The 3-1, and that one's hard hit left side. That one's a diving play there by Areola, and he makes the diving catch. A great effort.
I didn't think he was going to get to that ball. It was dropping fast. Areola makes a great catch to cut down what would have been the leadoff runner, and now there's one out in the third.
Joe Barros now from Hartnell College. One out. Richard sets and fires. Breaker that catches the back door. 0-1 to Barros from Salinas, California. Loops one over the netting. 0-2 now quickly to the right fielder. 0-2, Richards looking for the strikeout here, looking for his second one. The 0-2, Richards fires, and that one's just fouled back. Looked like he had some interesting movement on that pitch there from Richards. Barros had 6 foot, 195. Richards fires the 0-2 again. That one's looped foul again to keep it at 0-2 and just landing to the right of us.
Now we've seen 3 straight balls, one go over One come a little bit to the right, one comes short.
And it's drawn Adam out of his seat as Adam is ready to make a play if another one comes anywhere close to us. Might hear him dive out of the booth, and that one's popped up on the infield. Campering under it, though, is Bozovkovsky, and almost taken out. Barros on the play. Nonetheless, out number 2 on the pop-up.
Bozovkovsky made a terrific play there, and Barros is nearing him down the first base line. And also, the first base bag, to not trip over that, it's a web gem.
Charlie Wooden now up to bat. Facing Richards for the second time, watches one inside. Wooden reached on a fielder's choice. That was that one that we couldn't decide if it was a hit or a fielder's choice, but eventually it's gone down as a fielder's choice. 2-0 count to Wooten. Big fly ball right side, but that one will just drift right behind the infield. Second baseman Romero calls everyone off for the third out as it's 3 up and 3 down for the Bombers. They're down 3-6 as we head to the bottom of the third on the PSCL Broadcasting Network. Cole McMahon set to face the the Coyotes here, 3, 4, and 5, as we've got an update from the backfields.
3-1 A's over Haymakers.
A's coached by former Rockies coach Jimmy Johnson, also coached for the Grand Junction Jackalopes. We'll cover him throughout the season, him and his A's. First one to Bozovkovsky is inside. Bozovkovsky made that great play Adam mentioned, and it's always one of those moments in baseball where you make a great play and then it's your turn right away. You got to turn around quickly to make a good at-bat now happen.
Yeah, baseball's a weird game. You got subbed in, the ball will find you. Make a great defensive play, suddenly you're up at the plate.
That one's inside. Goes to 3-0. Bozovkovsky looking to draw a leadoff walk here after making a great play to end the top of the third, and he does draw the walk. They're actually saying it just was a pass ball, but they're acting like Bozovkovsky could have gone to second.
I mean, he could have if he ran out of the box, I guess. I'm not sure. I guess they were yelling at Bozovkovsky to make the turn. Not so much the catcher, Irving, but I don't know, weird play. Maybe they thought it was ball 3?
Guess so, but Sebastian Jameis now up to bat. Reached on a hit by a pitch and tallied an RBI in doing so. Watches one for a strike. The DH. Jameis. This time is called as ball from the Coyotes bullpen goes out into left field right near the 350 foul pole. As that one is retrieved. The at-bat will resume shortly after the ball gets back to the man in the bullpen. Play on, says the umps. Pick off Tim back in there safely is Bonzolkowski. McMahon works from the third base side of the rubbers, sets at the chest, brings it down to the belt, leg kicks and fires, and that one's pulled towards the Coyotes bullpen. Goes 0-2. 0-2 count. That ball ricocheted out into left field, so that one will have to be retrieved before the game continues. 0-2. McMahon sets, leg kicks, breaking ball, stays upstairs, 1-2. Might have caught the top of the zone, but called a ball nonetheless. 1-2 count to Jameis. McMahon ready to go again. 1-2 delivered, and that one stays outside, 2-2. Jameis mentioned hit by a pitch. First time up, tallied an RBI when the Coyotes scored 6 in the first, 2-2, and that one is swung on and missed, and out on the strikeout is Jameis as he goes down swinging, and Cadence Varner now up to bat. 1 out here in the third. Varner reached in the first, came around to score. Another pick off Tim back in there safely is Bonzolkowski. As they're keeping a close eye on him over there at first base. For first baseman, it's interesting to see how much attention they're paying Bonzolkowski, and that one's outside to Varner, 1-0 count. Bonzolkowski did have 14 stolen bases for Macomb Community College, and that one's a weak swing, but a swing nonetheless, 1-1. For Varner, the center fielder. 1-1 count. Varner awaits. 1 out. Bottom of the third. McMahon delivers outside. Irving thinks about throwing down to first. Bonzolkowski is close enough, but Bonzolkowski, 14 stolen bases on 17 attempts, so really good stolen base percentage for the big first baseman. Swinging strike, 2-2. Bonzolkowski stands at 6'1", 210. Varner looking to give Bonzolkowski an attempt to run as it's a full count now. Last one was outside from McMahon. Varner hits that one back up the middle. Charging on is Wilson. Goes to the short way. 4-6 on the fielder's choice as Varner reaches safely, as Bonzolkowski was the out recorded on the fielder's choice. 4-6. Varner is on first. For Dominic Mendoza. Walked and came around to score. Back in the first inning. Mendoza from St. Mary's. Six foot 180 facing McMahon. The breaking ball stays outside as that one did not snap at all. 1-0 count to Mendoza. Two out, and that one's in the dirt, and a good stop there by Irving. Goes to 2-0. 2-0 count. McMahon takes her walk around the mound. Rubs the ball a bit. Toes the rubber again, 2-0. Fires the 2-0 pitch inside, and Mendoza didn't even have to think about going as it's now 3-0. Wind blowing just a little bit. 3-0 count. McMahon sets and fires a breaker that Mendoza just watches for a 3-1 count. Varner on first after reaching on the fielder's choice. 3-1. Mendoza watches that one, a front door breaker that catches a zone. 3-2 full count. 2 outs. Varner likely moving. Small lead not being held by Wooten. Goes off for second base in a half-hearted swing, and they're saying he goes around, and a strikeout there for McMahon sets down the side of the Coyotes. No runs, no hits, 1 left on, no errors. The Coyotes lead it 6-3 through 3 full here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Dallas Yardley now pitching for the Coyotes from Beaver, Utah, and Southern Utah University, standing 6'3", 185. Making his way down to Palm Springs this summer, playing for the Coyotes, getting ready to face the Bombers. Agbraden, Licari, and Jenkins. Agbraden, walk on the day. Licari reached on error, and Jenkins popped out earlier. Agbraden set to go against the 6'3" right-hander. Yardley works from the first base side of the rubber. Pearson gets the sign. Ready to go. Sets at the belt. Works from the stretch. Delivers the first one to Agbraden. Called for a strike on the outer black. Oh, 0-1 count to Agbraden. Sets and fires. Yardley, this one's looped center field straight there, straight to Varner, who just takes a few steps over to his right. For out number 1, the F8 for the first out. Now Joe Licari reached on an error, came around to score back in the second. Now facing Yardley for the first time. Big gap up the middle of the infield as the infielders playing for a push and a pull, respectively. 1-0 count to Licari. Yardley sets and fires a slow breaker. Catches his zone 1-1. 1-1 count. Center fielder Varner and Tirado playing rather shallow, but Areola playing regular depth, if not deep. 1-1. Yardley steps off. Calls time and calls for a mound visit between Rowetter and himself. Must have gotten the signs confused there. Long talk here between Yardley and Rowetter. And the car will take a chance to meet with his coach as the catcher visits conclude. 1-1 count, 1 out. Here at the top of the fourth. Coyotes lead at 6-3 over the Bombers, and that one is fought off foul. Goes to 1-2. Jenkins up next. Wilson would follow. 1-2 count. That one's hit straight back up the middle past Yardley, and there is a single for Licari, as it almost took Yardley along with it. Licari has his first hit of the afternoon. The first hit for the Bombers since the second inning, when Wilson tallied a single. Jenkins is now up to bat. Jenkins open stance, waving the bat around. Yardley fires upstairs, and Jenkins was squared around but pulls it back. 1-0 to the left fielder. Jenkins versus Yardley. Licari being held by Bozokowski and taken off for second base is Licari. Jenkins puts the bunt down, charged on and handled by Sly. Gets it over to Bozokowski on the bunt. Licari at second after the bunt was put down. 2 outs for the Bombers. Nathan Wilson now digging in. Singled, was left on base in the second. Licari on second. Yardley delivers a check swing and stays back for a 1-0 count, as that one took a few hops away there from Rowetter. Stayed close enough to not allow Licari to advance. Time called at the dish as Wilson adjusts the batting gloves in his 1-0 count. Second baseman today for the Bombers. Open stance in a slight crouch. 1-0. Yardley checks Licari. That one stays upstairs above the letters. 2-0. Wind's starting to pick up a bit here at Palm Springs Stadium, blowing in from the right field fence. 2-0. Yardley now sets at the belt. Checks Lakari again, fires the 2-0 in there, breaking ball for a strike. Wilson was watching all the way. 2-1 now.
He was watching it fly over his head, and that dropped in for a strike.
Had a limbo out of the way of that one for a 2-1 count. Yardley, big leg kick and fires, and that's a pop-up behind the dish. Rowetter did not see it as that one actually goes all the way out of play. Takes a hop into the stands. Goes to 2-2. Those plays behind home plate always are difficult for catchers as a lot of wind swirling about and a lot of spin off the bat. 2-2, 2 outs. Top of the fourth. Coyotes lead at 6-3. That one's hit left side. Grounder being charged on by Sly. And Sly fires it to first, and it goes out of play. Lakari scores, and Wilson gets granted second base on the single and E5. And Lakari scores there. Makes it a 6-4 game. Wilson on second after the single and E5. Asher Friedman now set up to bat. Watches the first one, 1-0 count. To Friedman, the third baseman today. Reached first in the second. Did not go past first base. This is now in a 1-1 count. To Yardley. Wilson on second after Lakari scored on the ball that went out of play. 1-1. Yardley leg kicks and fires, pulls it outside, and rolls out towards Yardley. 2-1 count. To the third baseman, Friedman. Next up, Harry Collick would be next. He struck out in the second with strikeout victim number 1 to Dane Richards. As Wilson's got to tie his cleat there out at second. Wilson being watched closely and carefully by Romero at second. 2-1. Yardley fires, and that's a big swing and a miss by Friedman. Evens count at 2-all. First pitch was at 11:57, so we're just a little over an hour of baseball played. 6-4, Coyotes lead it, and that one's a breaking ball, stays inside, almost got the back door to Friedman. Full count, 2 outs. Wilson on second. Yardley ready to go, the full count, fires. That stays upstairs, and Friedman draws the walk after the long battle. Harry Collick now up to bat. Mentioned the extra hitter for the Bombers here on this Saturday afternoon, week 1 of PSCL play. A lot more games to go before PSCL play is done. The first one, to Collick, stays above the eyes. 1-0 to the extra hitter. Yardley watches Wilson, who's got a big lead all the way halfway to third by the time the pitch is delivered, but it's now 2-0 to Collick. Keep an eye on Wilson. Big lead. 2-0 from Yardley in the dirt. 3-0. 3-0 count. One run across here. in the top of the fourth. Runners on first and second, the 3-0. Watching all the way is Kolek, and he is running down to first, but has to be called back on a called strike. 3-1 now to the extra hitter. Thought he had first base and bases loaded for the top of the order. 3-1. Yardley delivers in a protect me swing as Kolek comes up empty. 3-2. One pitch away out of working out of the jam is Yardley. Looking to keep the gap right where it is to keep his team a 2-run lead. Runners taking off. That one's hit straight at the shortstop. Schultze, and he gets it over to first in time. 6-4 on the putout. One run across on one hit. No errors, 2 left on. The Coyotes lead at 6-4 through 3.5 here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Shaden Sullivan now pitching for the Bombers, facing Carson Romero, Christian Ariola, and Lucas Tirado. That's 7, 8, and 9 of the Coyotes' order. Shaden Sullivan from Elora, Ontario, and Muskingum University. First baseman takes the field right as a pitch is delivered. So that pitch does not count from Sullivan. Would have been a 1-0 count, but it's 0-0 here to Romero. The first official pitch is called a strike. Must have caught the edge of the zone. 0-1 to the second baseman, Romero. Sullivan works on the first base side of the rubber. 3/4 delivery and outside, 1-1. 1-1 count from Sullivan to Romero, and that one's just off the end of the bat, foul, 1-2. Christian Ariola due up next. Tirado will follow. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Coyotes lead it 6-4, and that one's outside, trying to frame it as Irving. 2-all count. No outs. Bottom of the fourth. Coyotes haven't scored since back in the first inning. They've been blanked. The second and the third. 2-2 from Sullivan. Pop up right side. Drifting back is Wilson, but Barrows comes all the way in from right field to call everyone off for out number 1. So big pop out as Barrows was the one who came crashing in. Had about cover about 100 feet there. Christian Areola now. Up to bat, hit into a fielder's choice. Double play. Back in the first, hard hit grounder left side. Vosser fields it on a backhand, goes to first for out number 2. So 2 quick outs for the Coyotes, and they're looking to be blanked again here in the 4th. Lucas Tirado now up to bat. Wearing the pink ninja headband. First one, lazy fly ball left side, and that one will drop down though as Jenkins can't get to it in time, and Tirado has a single. That one just off the end of the bat, and Jenkins did not have a chance to get to that one. There's a first hit for Tirado. Today's game went down swinging back in the second. Coyotes now at 4 hits total. Mason Rowetter, the catcher, set to dig in now. Slightly open stance, standing upright. Hands out in front of him. Sullivan checks Tirado, fires, one in the dirt. 1-0 count to the backstop. Rowetter waits the 1-0. Sullivan, long pause, checks on Tirado, and time was called, so pitch does not count. Would have been 2-0 count. But it's a 1-0 count. 1-0 count. Sullivan checking on Tirado. Tirado to left hand out right. Ready to dive back in. The 1-0. Looped over to the right side. Foul. Goes to 1-1. Sullivan gets a new ball. Steps back up on the mound. Ready to work again. The 1-1. Checking on Tirado. Keeping a close eye on the man from Florida. 1-1. To Rowetter, and that one's yanked outside. Irving keeps it in front of him, though, to keep Tirado from advancing. 2-1 count. 6-4 game, bottom of the 4th. 2-1 count, 2 outs. Coyotes lead it 6-4. Sullivan, pick-off attempt, and Tirado just takes a step back. Not really challenged on the pick-off attempt. Back in there safely. Tirado, the right fielder, on first. Rowetter, the catcher, in the box, and a 2-1 count. Sullivan leg kicks and fires upstairs, 3-1. Rowetter not being challenged too much here in the 4th. Just the one strike on him was he fouled it off. 3-1. Sullivan works again, fires, and that one's in there for a strike. 3-2. Tirado will be moving on delivery. Anything close, Rowetter will be looking to find it off or put it in play. 3-2, Sullivan. Tirado taking off, and there's a swinging strikeout. And Rowetter goes down for the 3rd out. No runs, no hits. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left on. Coyotes lead it 6-4 through 4 here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, the Cal, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Top of the order is set to go against Dallas Yardley. It's Reese Vosser, Bobby Irving, and Joe Barros. And the first one fouled back towards the right side off the bat of Vosser. 0-1 quickly to the shortstop. The shortstop on the day reached on, and catcher's interference was the best explanation we could think of. Eventually came around to score and then flew out in the second. Third time up to bat. Watches that one. At the eyes, 1-1 count. 1-1 count to Vosser. Yardley delivers the 1-1, a breaking ball that bounces in front of the dish. Goes to 2-1. Dirt's starting to dry out. As the day goes on, we've seen a few nasty hops off the dirt. 2-1. That one's hit right side. Deep fly ball. The outfielders are giving it a chase. And did Torado make the catch? And he did. Great effort there by Torado for the first out. The F9 in the book for out number one.
He was playing pretty shallow in right field, and it almost cost him because he had to go a long ways to get that ball. And reaches out. Full extension to make the catch.
Bobby Irving now up to bat, singled and flew out in his two appearances so far. Watches one above the letters, 1-0. Facing Yardley for his first time. Yardley's been effective since coming in for the Coyotes. That one's hit hard left side. That will drop in front of Areola as that one just shot through the gap of Sly and Schulte between short and third. And there's a hit for Irving. And a runner on now for the Bombers. We'll have a courtesy runner here for Irving, it looks like, coming up. It's just a matter of who it might be replacing him. No one out there quite yet to replace Irving, but here he comes out of the dugout.
You ever play like a ghost runner? Like you play, baseball in your backyard, you don't have enough guys? All right, ghost runner on second base. I assume you've never played.
No, I understand what you're saying, but Irving being courtesy ran for here. A quick check back there on the man on first base. As that is Not too sure who that is. I can't find the number on the lineup card. As it's Reese Vassar, who actually just made the out, replacing Bobby Irving. So hard hit ball left side. That one diving effort. Ariola comes up, didn't full dive, but definitely gave it a full out stretch and stayed on his feet for out number 2.
Great catch in left field. Yeah, that's Vassar at first base. So
Definitely a little confusing, as it was a guy who just made the out who replaced the catcher.
it's like the runner on second base in the MLB. Last person to get out.
I guess so.
Not always how it works, but it's how it worked in this scenario.
Charlie Wooden watches one for a called strike on the outer black. 0-1 to the first baseman. I mean, gives him a chance to run. More experience on the base pass. Never hurt anyone. The 0-1 hit straight to the first baseman, Bozokowski, as he falls onto the bag. I think they're actually calling that one a foul ball. But Bozokowski definitely fielded it in fair territory and fell right on the bag. But I guess the second chance at life here for Wooden is it's 0-2 count. 0-2, Yardley delivers, and that one's chopper back up straight to Yardley, and Yardley will take it himself and step on first for the third out. No runs on the hit, no errors, one left on. Coyotes lead it 6-4. We head to the bottom of the fifth here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Family setting, you know, we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you. Learn more at eisenhowerhealth.org/awards.
Shaden Sullivan back out there for his second inning of work against the Coyotes. Jay Schultz, Bruce Sly, and Nicholas Bozokowski. Top of the order is set to face Sullivan. Schultz, run scored on 2 singles. Sly, a walk and a strikeout and a run scored. And Bozokowski, a single and a walk and a run scored as well. As the Coyotes lead it 6-4 over the Bombers as we enter the bottom of the fifth. Strike at the letters, I should say, to Schultz. the shortstop. And an 0-1 count. The 0-1, Sullivan swings. Causes Schultz to swing as it's now 0-2. 2 quick strikes and 1 pitch away from a strikeout here for Sullivan. It'll be back-to-back strikeouts. 0-2. Sullivan fires, and that one's a soft grounder left side. That's Vosser charging on and getting over to first base in time for the first out. 6-3 put out if you're keeping the score at home. Bruce Sly now up to bat. Sly, as mentioned, walked in a strikeout on the day. Playing the hot corner for the Coyotes. Digs in to face Sullivan. Straight up stance. Slight bend of the knees. Chopper right side. And that one goes under the glove of Wooten as it took a nasty hop and just died down on a clump of dirt. Just snuck under the glove of Wooten, though. As it snuck under the glove of Wooten is mentioned, and Sly reaches on the E3. Runner on first, Sly, Balzakowski facing Sullivan. Sullivan pumps in. That one's a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. And that will do it for the Coyotes here in the fifth, as it's no runs, no hits, and error, no one left on. And the Coyotes lead at 6-4 as we head to the sixth here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
Dallas Yardley set to go here in the sixth. Will face the heart of the Bombers' order: Egg Braden, Licari, and Jenkins. As the Bombers are down 6-4. And the Bombers are down to their last 6 outs to take the lead over the Coyotes. And the Coyotes looking to get their second win. Bombers 0-3 on the PSCL season so far. The first one to Egg Braden. That one's popped up back behind the dish. And Rowetter just watches that one drop out of play over the netting. 0-1 to Egg Braden.
I love the shout out from the Coyotes dugout. You got room. Well, he did
Definitely did not have room. If he went any farther, he would have went right into the fencing. Right next to our putting green for some power promotions during the power games. 0-1 count from Yardley, and Egg Braden watches that one. Drop too low, 1-1.
It's now a 1-1 count.
1-1 count.
was supposed to be the master's voice, Cole.
Oh, okay. I see where we're going here now. 1-1 count for Yardley. To Braden. Yellow batting gloves. Check swing. Grounder left side. Field on a nasty hop. Schultz goes to first for the out. On the 6-4 put out for out number 1. Joseph Licari now up to bat. Reached on error, came around to score, and then singled and came around to score. So 2 runs scored for the Bombers by Licari. Has half the Bombers' runs. Yardley breaking ball in there for a strike. Licari was watching all the way, 0-1. 1 out. Top of the 6th. Coyotes lead at 6-4. The 0-1 from Yardley. Hard hit ball. Jumping attempt at Schultz, and that gets over his glove and rolls into center field. And Licari with a well-struck single for a hit. And great effort there by Schultz.
I thought he had that.
Almost got the leather to it. I want to see the vertical measurement on his leap there. Really was above his head by a good foot or two and almost flashed the leather on the hopping play. This is Licari at first on the hit. Jenkins open stance back in the batter's box. Hands waggling. Watches that one outside and low. 1-0 count to the left fielder Jenkins. Jenkins on the day, a pop out and a ground out. 1-0. Yardley checks on Licari, and Licari's taking off for second base, but that one's popped up behind first base, and that one drops in. Torado will throw it to second, and Licari is out on the single and the 9-6 put out.
Just got to be a fielder's choice there, right?
It dropped in. No one was able to get to it, and as it was Romero who was trying to cover second on the steal attempt by Licari. Licari was out.
Yeah, I have no clue why Romero honestly called Tirado off there. That's a really hard ball for an infielder to get to, especially because he was shifted up the middle.
Wilson watches that one for a strike as that one was yanked outside. Definitely a hard play for either player to make. Torado does play a shallow right field, though, but Romero was trying to cover second as Licari was taken off. 0-1 pickoff. Jenkins back in there safely. Jenkins reaching after the fielder's choice. Licari caught in a pickle as he was trying to take second. 0-2 now here to Wilson.
And there's really not anything you can do there because you have to stay close to the first base bag. You're expecting it to be caught. Unfortunately, took some rough wind.
0-2, 2 outs. Top of the 6th. And watching that one is Wilson. Bounces in the dirt, stays close enough to keep Jenkins from advancing. 1-2 count to Wilson, second baseman. Friedman would be next. Yardley checks on Jenkins, delivers the 1-2, and Jenkins taking off for second base and no throw down. Jenkins over on second base now. 2-2 count to Wilson on the defensive indifference. Bombers trying to scratch back into this one. That one's outside, full count to Nathan Wilson. 3-2, 2 outs. Runner on second. Bombers down to the Coyotes 6-4, top of the 6th with 2 outs. And Yardley steps off the mound. Wilson steps out of the batter's box. Digs back in. Ready for the 3-2. Versus Yardley. Yardley gets the sign, peers in. Checks Jenkins. Fires the 3-2, and there's a swinging strikeout for the third out. The Bombers strand one. No runs on a hit, one left on. No errors. The Coyotes lead it 6-4. We head to the bottom of the sixth here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Coyotes looking to extend their lead here. In the bottom of the sixth is their heart of the order. Sebastian James, Cadence Varner, Dominic Mendoza due up. Set to face Shaden Sullivan. James on the day hit by a pitch and a strikeout. Victor, and that one's chopped left side but goes foul. Giving it a look is Friedman. Jameis tallied an RBI on that hit by pitch in the first inning. And since then, the Coyotes have been blanked. The second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. All 6 runs coming in that first inning. The 0-1 to Jameis, and that one's outside. 1-1 count now. To the DH. Varner due up next. On deck. This time is called. And errant baseball goes onto the field. Left center field. Not sure how it got there. Another one, though.
Once again, could be hit from the turf field.
Appears mysteriously. We don't know how it got there. Who knows? Could have appeared out of the ether as well. 1-1 from Sullivan to Jamison. That one's blocked, but in the dirt. 2-1 count. Bombers will look to blank Coyotes again here. The bottom of the sixth is they're still down 6-4. 2-1 count. Sullivan delivers, and that one's yanked outside. 3-1. Jameis looking to reach to help give his team an opportunity to extend the 2-run lead. The 3-1 is a walk. That one was low. In the dirt, Jameis. Varner digs in. Varner reached on error, and a fielder's choice scored back in the first. That 6-run first inning. He tallied run number 5. Sullivan checks on Jameis. Sullivan's ready to go. Delivers the 0-0. High chopper left side, making it hopping play as Friedman, and he throws it over to first, just not in time. So runners safe at first and second after the high bounce.
That was a great snag. Sort of Jordan logoed it.
Great hop by Friedman.
Yeah, but that's got to be ruled a hit as well. I mean, he really had no shot.
Kept the runners from advancing even farther, though, by making the really nice snag. And Connor Meager pinch hitting from Concordia University in Texas. Played with our very own EJ Sanchez. EJ will be on the Power broadcast later tonight as they take on the Inland Valley Legends once more.
Yeah, with Jay Cicinelli, I believe, as well. Honestly didn't know he was on the call. He's just in the booth and pointing to himself.
So make sure to tune into the Power game later on, as it's now 0-2 count to Meager. Batting for Mendoza. Sullivan looking to keep the Coyotes off the board, the 0-2. Spins off. Jameis wasn't going anywhere, and Varner stays on first. The 0-2. Sullivan checks on Jameis. Delivers the 0-2, and that is chopped. Just Meager getting a piece of it just enough to stay alive. Six-4 game. 0-2 count to Meager. Bottom of the 6th, no outs. Coyotes up. Sullivan checks Jameis. Fires the 0-2. Chopper left side. The 6-4 to 3. Double play. And Jameis advances to third on the fielder's choice. What a double play nonetheless for the first and second out.
Huge play. Biggest defensive play of the game. A twin killing in the 6th.
And Carson Romero now up to bat. On the day, walked in to pop out. Has not came around to score for the Coyotes. Sullivan fires the first one outside. 1-0 count to the second baseman. Jameis on third. Infield playing normal depth. Outfield as well. The 0-1. Lined hard. Center field, but straight at Licari, who did not have to move a muscle for the third out. No runs on a hit. No errors. One left on. The Bombers down to their last 3 outs as they're down 6-4 as we head to the 7th here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network. Jonathan Lewis looking to close the door for the Coyotes as the Bombers are down 6-4. And it's Friedman, Colick, and Vosser 9, 10, and 1 set to face Lewis here in the 7th. Lewis, the third pitcher for the Coyotes after Richards and Yardley. First pitch from Lewis is outside to Friedman. 1-0 count to the third baseman. Reached second, or has reached first twice on his day. Now in a 2-0 count. Harry Colick would be next. Maurice Vosser would follow. Long set here from Lewis, the 2-0. He fires. That is upstairs, 3-0. Count. That one is upstairs. As drawing the walk there was actually a pinch hitter, and we've got a final though from the backfield. The Haymakers take it over the A's. 7-6 is the final there on the turf field. First pitch called strike to Colick. It was Joe Thornton who was pinch hitting there for Friedman. Quickly 0-2 to Colick. 0-2. Lewis leg kicks, fires, and that one is fought off by Colick. It goes foul to the right side.
Put a little bit extra on that fastball. 88.
0-2. Lewis Pearson gets the sign he likes. Sets leg kicks, fires the 0-2, and that one sets Colick looking as that one fooled him. Thought it was going to hit him, been out of the way. And a strikeout looking for out number one, and the Bombers are down to their last 2 outs. Still searching for their first victory of the season. They're down 6-4 as the Coyotes lead it. First pitch to Vosser is upstairs. 1-0.
Yeah, that was a nasty slider on that strike 3. Just absolute filth.
1-0. Lewis fires, and that one's about in the same spot as the last one, 2-0. Both times Vosser been out of the way. 2-0 count. Lewis fires, and maybe just catching a piece of that one was Vosser, but it went straight to the glove of Rowetter. 2-1 count now. 2-1. Lewis sets and fires, and that one's fouled back. Evens it up at 2-2. Cole Pavello and Adam Oppenheim along here with you on this Saturday. Just about to close out daily doubleheader, and that one's fouled back. Keeps it at 2-2. Will be Adam and Jace alongside you tomorrow for Sunday baseball. 2-2 from Lewis, and that one's fouled off. Keeps it at 2-2.
We'll have Ethan Gamolka here too. I'm sure he'll be showing up for his 1 millionth consecutive day of PSEL play. That
Lewis
man grinds the entire day. Huge respect.
Peers in. Gets the sign he likes, delivers a 2-2, and there's a strikeout swinging. And the Bombers down to their last out. Bobby Irving digging in. Singled, flew out, and singled again on his day so far. The Bombers 1 out away of going 0 for 4, and the Coyotes looking to go 2-1. Irving awaits the 0-0. Watches the first one inside. 1-0. Next one called a ball as well, 2-0. 2 outs. Thornton on first. Defense playing their normal position, the 2-0, and that one hits Irving on the helmet. He's all right, though, as he takes first base after the hit by pitch.
It looked like it just slipped out of the hand. And now it sets up a situation where you have the go-ahead run at the plate, the tying run at first. Now, this sounds crazy, but do you try a double steal to get them both in scoring position? It sounds ridiculous, but if you get the pitch to go on, can move the tying run to second base.
And Lewis was being checked on by the home plate umpire, as Adam mentioned, likely just slipped out of his hand. But runners on first and second for Joe Barros. Got to first, back in the first, popped out and flew out in his next 2 appearances. And now here, bases first and second. Hard grounder right side, foul. Fights it off. But a ball put in play would make this a very interesting game, as likely one would score, making it a 1-run game, as it's 6-4. 1 out remaining for the Bombers, and that one gets by the backstop. Runners advancing 90 feet, and now if a ball put in play could tie it up.
That's a massive wild pitch. No other way to put it in. I would not even needing to steal. Now you have the tying run at second base. Wow.
1-1 count, 2 out. Runners on second and third. Barrows hands held high. Check swing, no swing. 2-1. And Lewis is looking for a check down, but no swing officially called. Barrows awaits the 2-1. Lewis fires another check swing at one in the dirt, and another check down and no swing, so it's a 3-1 count to Barrows. 1 ball away from loading it for Charlie Wooten.
Now, if you're Lewis, I don't think you particularly need to throw something in the middle of the plate.
3-1 chopper right side grounding. Charge on by Romero. Romero to first for the final out. And the Bombers scare the Coyotes with the flyby, but do not score that tying or pivotal winning run. And so the Coyotes move to 2-1. Bombers go to 0-4. And Adam, we've had a full day of baseball come and go. 2 close games after all things said and done.
That was a really close play at first base, not fielded particularly cleanly, but you know, the Coyotes just found a way to get it done. The Bombers, plenty more games to play on the schedule.
That will do it for all of us here at the PSAO Broadcasting Network's Cole Pavelio and Adam Oppenheim. Until next time, so long for all of us here.